Next tonight here, the tragedy at Yellowstone National Park involving a baby bison.
Putting her in the hospital with significant injuries. Park rangers say it happened this morning on the north shore of Lake Yellowstone.
Yellowstone National Park is renowned for its geysers, hot springs, and stunning landscapes. However, tech mogul Elon Musk has just unveiled a chilling secret lurking beneath its beauty, a massive supervolcano that could erupt at any moment. According to Musk, the park has been closed, and experts now warn that the chances of a sudden eruption have surged by 320%. But what's really happening beneath Yellowstone, and why is this warning so critical? Stick around because what you're about to learn might shock you. Elon Musk's involvement with Yellowstone began in May 2023 when his Starlink system was deployed at one of the park's monitoring stations. Positioned between Mammoth Hot Springs and Norris Geyser Basin, both well known for their geothermal activity, the system provides a high-speed internet connection, enabling real-time data transmission to scientists. So far, the results have been promising, the connection remains stable, and data continues to flow without interruption. If all goes as planned, additional Starlink systems will be installed throughout the park. But why was this technology introduced in the first place? The answer lies in Yellowstone's extraordinary nature. Beneath the park rests one of the world's largest supervolcanoes, with a vast reservoir of scorching magma fueling its geothermal activity. This immense heat powers the park's iconic geysers and hot springs, including the famous Old Faithful, which erupts on a predictable schedule, drawing thousands of visitors. As Yellowstone reopens to the public today, one of its most popular attractions is garnering even more attention. While these geysers are stunning, they also serve as reminders that the land beneath them is active and constantly shifting. Scientists closely monitor Yellowstone to better understand the volcano's behavior. If it were to erupt, the consequences could be devastating, not just for the park but for the entire world. To track underground activity, researchers have deployed specialized equipment throughout Yellowstone, including GPS devices, seismometers, and temperature sensors. GPS devices measure land movement, with semi-permanent GPS stations installed across the park to strengthen the monitoring network. Seismometers detect earthquakes, which frequently occur due to the region's underground activity. Temperature sensors monitor heat levels in the ground and water. Together, these tools help scientists anticipate any major changes. However, there's a significant challenge: Yellowstone is vast, and much of this equipment is located in remote areas. Many locations lack cell service, Wi-Fi, or reliable ways to transmit data. Scientists have relied on radio signals and cell towers, but these methods are often inconsistent. In the summer, heavy tourist traffic slows down cell networks, while in winter, deep snow and harsh weather make access nearly impossible. Without a stable way to send data, critical updates may be delayed or lost. Yellowstone National Park is one of the world's most renowned parks. Spanning across Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho in the United States, it covers over 2.2 million acres, larger than some small countries. The park is famous for its breathtaking scenery, towering mountains, and remarkable geothermal features. Yellowstone National Park is home to deep forests, flowing rivers, and a diverse range of wildlife, including bison, bears, wolves, and elk. Each year, millions of visitors come to experience its natural beauty and witness its famous geysers and hot springs. This is where Elon Musk's Starlink comes into play. Starlink is a network of thousands of satellites orbiting Earth, designed to provide internet access in remote areas where traditional internet services struggle. Since it connects directly to satellites in space, Starlink delivers a strong signal as long as there is a clear view of the sky. As mentioned earlier, scientists have installed a Starlink system at one of Yellowstone's monitoring stations to test its ability to improve communication in the park. So far, the results have been promising. The connection is strong, allowing real-time data transmission from monitoring equipment. If the test continues to be successful, additional Starlink systems may be deployed throughout the park, making it easier to track volcanic activity. What makes Starlink particularly effective is its independence from cell towers or ground-based internet infrastructure. Instead of relying on traditional networks, it connects directly to space, ensuring reliable communication regardless of bad weather, network congestion, or rugged terrain. Even if heavy snow blankets parts of the park, Starlink will remain functional as long as it has an unobstructed view of the sky. A strong internet connection in Yellowstone could provide several benefits. For example, in cases where someone is lost or injured in a remote area, park rangers must locate them quickly. However, weak communication signals can delay emergency response by hours. With Starlink installed in key locations, rescue operations could become faster and more efficient. Visitors to the park could also benefit from Starlink. While many come to Yellowstone to immerse themselves in nature, some may still want access to maps, safety alerts, and weather updates. Expanding Starlink coverage could enhance visitor safety and convenience, making trips both safer and more enjoyable. The deployment of Starlink in Yellowstone highlights how Elon Musk's technology is making an impact in unexpected ways. Initially designed to provide internet access to rural communities, schools, and disaster-stricken areas, Starlink is now also being utilized in national parks, research stations, and even military operations. The system continues to evolve, with frequent satellite launches enhancing both speed and coverage. However, using Starlink in Yellowstone does present certain challenges. One major concern is its environmental impact. As a protected national park, Yellowstone requires careful consideration before introducing new technology. The Starlink equipment currently being tested is compact and does not disrupt the park's natural scenery. Nevertheless, if additional systems are introduced, scientists and officials must ensure they do not interfere with wildlife or visitors. Another challenge is maintaining Starlink's reliability in extreme weather conditions. Yellowstone endures harsh winters with heavy snowfall and freezing temperatures, requiring the equipment to function effectively without frequent maintenance. Early tests indicate that Starlink is performing well, but long-term monitoring will be necessary to confirm its resilience. Despite these obstacles, the advantages of Starlink in Yellowstone outweigh the potential drawbacks. A stable internet connection enhances scientific research on volcanic activity, strengthens emergency response efforts, and streamlines park operations. If testing continues to yield positive results, Starlink could become a permanent fixture in Yellowstone's monitoring system. Elon Musk's link to Yellowstone might not be as widely recognized as his ventures with Tesla and SpaceX, but it highlights yet another way his technology is shaping the world. Through Starlink, he is enhancing scientific research and communication in one of the most remote and vital locations on Earth, proving that innovation can address real-world challenges. Now, we understand why Elon's Starlink is so crucial. But what if it weren't available? What would that mean for Yellowstone National Park? Stay tuned, because what we're about to reveal will shock you: the supervolcano beneath Yellowstone and its potential threat to humanity. Yellowstone National Park is home to one of the most powerful and dangerous natural forces on the planet, a supervolcano. This massive volcanic system, hidden beneath the park, has the potential to cause widespread devastation, not just in the surrounding areas but across the entire world. While the likelihood of an imminent eruption is low, the possibility remains a significant concern for scientists and global leaders. Unlike typical volcanic eruptions that primarily affect local regions, a supervolcano eruption could blanket entire continents in ash, drastically alter the climate, and trigger long-term environmental and societal upheaval. The Yellowstone supervolcano is particularly alarming due to its immense size, central location, and unpredictable nature. To grasp the full scale of this threat, we must look at Yellowstone's volcanic history. The last major eruption occurred around 640,000 years ago, but this was not the only time Yellowstone has reshaped the planet. Over the past 2.1 million years, it has erupted 3 times, each event releasing enormous amounts of ash, gas, and lava into the atmosphere. The most recent eruption was so powerful that it left behind a massive crater, known as the caldera, which still lies beneath the park today. If another eruption were to occur, the consequences would be devastating. A super eruption would unleash an immense amount of ash, gas, and lava, enough to dramatically alter the climate and disrupt life worldwide. The ash would be propelled high into the atmosphere, lingering for years and blocking sunlight, leading to a drop in global temperatures. This phenomenon, known as a volcanic winter, could severely impact agriculture, food production, and human survival. The cooling of the planet would likely result in widespread crop failures, food shortages, and even famine in some areas. However, the effects wouldn't be limited to just temperature changes. Along with the ash, a super eruption would release vast quantities of toxic gases, such as sulfur dioxide, into the atmosphere. These gases could lead to acid rain, further damaging crops, forests, and water supplies. Air pollution from the eruption would also pose serious health risks, potentially causing respiratory issues for humans, animals, and plants alike. Even if the initial eruption wasn't immediately deadly, its long-term effects on the environment and public health would be severe. Beyond global climate disruptions, a super eruption at Yellowstone would cause widespread devastation in the surrounding region. The explosion would likely trigger powerful earthquakes, volcanic flows, and pyroclastic surges, obliterating infrastructure, homes, and entire communities. While the most intense destruction would be centered around Yellowstone, the consequences would extend far beyond. Depending on the scale of the eruption, volcanic ash could blanket vast areas of the United States, disrupting daily life, transportation, and agriculture for an extended period. The aftermath wouldn't just last a few years, the effects could persist for decades. The cooling of the planet could lead to lasting environmental changes, altering weather patterns and affecting ecosystems worldwide. The impact on agriculture, food supply chains, and the global economy would be felt for years, if not generations. Entire ecosystems could collapse under the weight of these prolonged environmental shifts. While the immediate destruction would be catastrophic, the long-term consequences could prove just as devastating.